Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Reid, and today we have a video on my business, Reid Incorporated. So my business is Reid Incorporated, as I just previously mentioned, and I started this business off during the summer of 2021, right after my junior year. I'm gonna split this video up into 3 parts. The first part is called the idea, the second part is called the execution, and the third part is called commitment. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell down below so you don't miss another video. And with that being said, let's dive into the first part, the idea. The idea of Reid Incorporated came from a birthday present I got for my 21st birthday, and right after I received this camera, I did a lot of research on this camera, so I'll be able to, I guess, utilize it for my creative endeavors such as like YouTube, TikTok, and other social media platforms where you can use video or photos as a way to express yourself creatively. Before I dive into more details of my business, I just want to tell you some fun facts about this camera. The price of this camera retails for $650, so that's a big investment into starting a business, right? And I came with the lens. It's called a 15 to 45 millimeter lens, and this is referred to as the kit lens. And you can do a lot with this lens, and I did a lot of my first couple photo shoots, probably like my first 5 photo shoots, 5 to 10 photo shoots with just this camera lens, and I made the best of it because I was able to utilize the zoom feature and like the auto focus feature of this lens. With this lens, I was able to do a multitude of different photo shoots, and I'm going to show you some of them right now. Okay, so that's the camera equipment or the camera setup for Reid Incorporated. So let me talk to you about how I came up with this name. So obviously my full name is Norman Reid, and I took my last name and I incorporated, see what I did there? But I used ink at the end of it. It sounds professional, and also like there's a lot of companies out there, even though this might be a little bit corny, but one of my favorite movies as a kid is Monsters Inc., aka Monsters Incorporated, and I just put those two concepts together, or to put those two words together, and I made Reid Incorporated. So that was just a quick spiel on my business like idea, and now I'm going to talk to you about how I executed this plan, or how I made my idea come to reality, or how I allowed my ideas to be tangible. I got my camera in April, as I previously mentioned, and I did my first ever photo shoot like literally less than a month from my birthday. It was with one of my friends, Melissa. So in preparation of her birthday photo shoot, I had to learn how to use my camera. The way I did this was by going onto YouTube and just searching up in the search bar a Canon M50 tutorial / like a walkthrough of the M50. There was so much like hours of content on how to properly utilize a camera, and literally I spent majority of my time from like my birthday to like finals week, and a little bit, no, from my birthday until the day of her photo shoot, just watching countless videos in preparation of putting my best foot forward with my idea / putting my best foot forward with my professionalism. If I don't know something, I need to be knowledgeable about it so I can execute, or I can be proficient in what I'm trying to do. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube on how to use my camera. I took my first ever photo, and with this first ever photo, I wanted to edit this photo. Again, I didn't know how to edit a photo, so I went on YouTube again and Google, and I searched up like best ways to edit a photo. So 2 things came up. One is Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom. These 2 softwares allow photographers, or just allow anybody in general, to make tweaks and adjustments to their image, right? From my time with using both softwares, I like Lightroom a little bit more because I'm able to manipulate more colors within that software, while Adobe Photoshop is more used to like fine-tune details such as like removing like wrinkles, creases, all those things, and to basically make your client / subject look in their best light, if that makes sense. But personally, I had more success with using Lightroom because that's what I gravitated more towards, if that makes sense. I'm currently still learning how to use Photoshop more proficiently, so I'm able to have that as like a service later on in my business career. So right after I learned how to use my camera, and after I learned how to use editing software such as like Lightroom, I needed to have a logo and some type of branding surrounding Reid Inc. I was able to then make a logo Reid Inc. by using Canva online. This software allowed me to find a font, find a theme, find a colorway that resonated with myself and also was so, how can I say, like authentic to like what I wanted Reid Inc. to be. Like the calmness of the brown, the calmness of like the white color, the text was just was a perfect match, and I liked it. So I surrounded my whole business with that current theme. So that's basically how I executed Reid Inc. with like coming up with a concept, aka the idea of Reid Incorporated. I talked to you about how I executed, such as like how I took the time or put in the time and effort into learning how to use my camera, use the softwares, and making a logo to have for my business. So now I'm gonna talk to you about the third and most important thing about anything in life, not just my business, not just even on a business level, but on life, on your journey through life level. Third thing I had to do was to be committed with myself and be committed with my business. The commitment came with my first ever photo shoot. This was with one of my friends. Her name is Melissa, and shout out to her for allowing me to just basically go through a quick journey with her with using my camera, articulating what I was seeing within my camera or on my equipment to her, and also like having like a discourse between on a person providing a service, which is myself, and my client, which was Melissa, of course. So having that dynamic between myself and my client allowed me to like have like a lot of, I guess, good habits within my professionalism. I guess to give you some insight on myself in general, I wouldn't say I'm a shy person, but when it comes to like putting myself out there with like, for example, my YouTube channel and or my business slash like anything that I find I have a talent in, and like I try to share that with people, I'm kind of shy about it because like, what if somebody says like, oh my god, this is so trash, or blah 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 blah. I guess like I was shy about like getting criticism, but if I was still shy about that, I would have never started Reid Incorporated, and this would have just been a concept I talked to this would have been a concept I would have talked to friends about, like, oh, I'm gonna start a business soon and blah blah blah, and it would never had happened. But something I found out about myself during this, I guess, journey with like having a business of my own is to put aside fear, put aside like being shy, put aside like all the quote unquote negative aspects that you might have of yourself, and or what other people might perceive of you, and just put that to the side and just tackle things head on. And with me overcoming that, I guess, initial fear or the initial like mental block, I was able to do a multitude of photo shoots across many different like social groups. For example, like my close friends, people who I would have never expected to work with, and it allowed me to like expand and grow as a person as well. But I just want to mention the hardest thing about doing anything in life, I think, is just starting. After you start, basically it's just like a snowball effect of like more progress is being made. Every step you take is like one step closer to your goal, type of thing. And you wouldn't know where you're going if you didn't even start, type of thing. That's just a very brief overview of Reid Incorporated. I talked to you about my idea of the business, I talked to you about my execution of my business, and I talked to you about one of the biggest things about myself in general is the commitment with continuing my business since 2021 basically. I made a poll on my business page and my actual personal page, and I also want to answer some questions that my community wants answered. And I'm just going to start off with this question. The first question is, I was interested in photography because it's a good way to just capture a moment in time. This is why I like the art form of it, and also this is why I was interested in pursuing photography as like a hobby and now as a business. Where did the idea come from? I like Monsters Inc. and I like the INC period, or the abbreviation of Incorporated, and Reid is my last name, as I previously mentioned, and I combined both of those two concepts, or both of those two words together, and that formulated into Reid Incorporated. And that's basically like my name slash branding of my business. The following question to this is, were you scared or worried about starting? I answered this, but I want to go into more detail with this. Yes, I was worried. I was worried about like nobody would like really resonating with my work, or people not understanding my creative vision, or my creative eye, if that makes sense. But I feel like you can say that with anything if you're just very vulnerable at first with starting something. Like, for example, like starting a business in like fitness, or starting a business in like clothing, or starting a business with like cooking. Your first initial customers, or your first initial I guess concepts, you're very worried about that, because like you put all your effort into creating this piece of work, or making a product, and you're putting that out there into the void basically, and just waiting on a response of like if people enjoy your work, the criticism of your work, all that stuff. And yes, in a long-winded way, yes, I was worried, but after I overcame that initial like mental block, sharing my work with people, hearing feedback from people, good or bad, has allowed me to grow, and I wouldn't have done that if I never committed to make Reid Incorporated a thing. Next question. Was it like you picked up a camera, looked through the lenses, and saw a future? Or did you have ideas that you wanted to capture and share to the world? To answer the latter question, yes, because I think having the ability to be connected to the internet, or having the ability to capture a moment in time, drastically increases your chances of connecting to the world, and also sharing different experiences from like different parts of the world, if that makes sense. Currently, right now, at the time of this recording, I have a project that I want to put out to my fellow college students and to the void of social media. And I'm going to work on that project very, very soon. And I'll probably, like, after that project happens, I'll tag it down below. But until then, you have to wait and subscribe to the channel, and also follow my Instagram at Reid Incorporated on Instagram. But yes, I did have ideas I wanted to capture, and I definitely tried a lot of different ideas, and I got I had a lot of good outcomes, and also like a lot of like some misses, but that's the life. You live and you learn type of thing. So this is actually what my sister, it's not a question, but she said you need an LLC. Basically, if you don't know what LLC is, like, it's basically something that accredits you as like an official business with the, I think, the United States government, or just makes you official across the board. And I will be making an LLC very, very soon, and that basically trademarks my name and all that stuff. But I'll be making that very soon because I need that to basically to have a stamp and have some benefits of like for example, if I spend like $10,000 on camera equipment, I can use that towards my business and also get that money back in the back end with like taxes and all that stuff. That's literally all the questions, and now this is the end of my video. Thank you for sticking in and watching this video all the way through. If you did, please drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Also turn on the post notification bell down below so you don't miss another video. I'll probably do more Q&As. I'll probably do a lot of more polls or like giveaways on my business page at Reid Inc. or at Reid Incorporated on Instagram. But if you want to stay up to date with that, just follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube, and you might have opportunity to, well, you might have opportunity for me and you to make something happen, or allow for a fantastic photo to be made. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you very soon in the future. Norman Reid signing off, aka Mr. Reid Incorporated signing off. Later.